And there are those other definitions that are there. Can be able to look at them. And we are good to go. Right, another thing we did was defining some key terms related to marketing, which you may not be asked to define those terms, for example, in an exam situation, but they help you to understand what you're talking about as far as marketing is concerned. So those key terms are very important because they actually are groundbreaking as far as marketing is concerned. And they lead you to those key principles that are necessary for one to be able to get oriented as far as this unit is concerned. Now, one of those terms that we had identified was a need. A need is what normally triggers production, because without a need, you may not produce. Now, you are supply chain students. Mostly your role is focused on performing purchases for organizations or ensuring that materials required, equipment required, any resources required is brought into the organization. That is your key role. Now, a need is what drives those purchases. Before an organization makes a purchase, let's say, for example, a grocery. Before a grocery stocks items, there must be a need of some people that it has to meet, for example. Take, for example, a supermarket. Before they stock those items there must be some people who want those products they are stocking. And that is the need that will drive them towards making those purchases and bringing those items in the organization. So that's very important. A want now is much more specific. It's determined by one's culture and one's personality. So these are key things that one needs to remember. Whatever food you want to eat is dependent on your culture. Another key term that we looked at was demand. Demand, we say, are people's wants backed by the ability to purchase, buying power. You cannot say it is a demand when you don't have the money. You cannot see that since I have the money, then that is demand. Demand must be the willingness to purchase. So there must be willingness and ability. Willingness and ability. So the key term that you need to include as far as demand is concerned is that there must be willingness and ability. So what we can add there is the willingness. Willingness to purchase that product. You really want it. You really are determined to possess it. So that is very important. We also defined product. Product is the item at play in this case, for example. Product is what everyone demands. It is what solves the problem. It is a solution provider as far as customers' need is concerned. So a need will be defined in terms of a product. And that product can be anything offered for attention, like an event or like sports activity, like a theater performance. That is attention. Acquisition, something that you exchange the title change hands, like buying land, buying a car, buying clothes from a store. Those kind of things. Consumption, those things that are consumable. You use them and they get exhausted and you go and want for another thing. Now they may consist of goods, that is tangible products. They may consist of people, personalities. They may consist of places, like destinations. They may consist of ideas being shared, like motivational speaking. They may consist of experiences, people going out maybe to get an experience of some kind of an activity. Those are all, they may be services which are intangible in nature. So all those are important aspects that you need to remember. And we also define the service that there are benefits offered, but they are essentially intangible and can lead to satisfaction of wants. Information, relating to customers' need, they need to act on any information they receive. Experiences comes after interaction with the product, and it can be a good or bad experience depending on how the product comes about. We also looked at exchange, which is very necessary for, especially as far as selling is concerned, exchanging a product that you want with the money that you possess. This is exchange of value. So the key things involved are value, something of value in return for another thing that is also of value, like going to a restaurant to buy food, lunch, that you exchange your money with a lunch, for example. Of course, we looked at conditions of exchange, that there must be at least two parties. There must be something of value, and that the other person wants to exchange with the others. Then these two parties must communicate with one another for it to be effective exchange. We also have one as is free to accept or reject, and then it's appropriate or desirable for these two people to deal. We also looked at customer value, and we say that this is the sacrifice that one gives or surrenders to obtain a benefit. The sacrifice that one surrenders to obtain a benefit. Like you want to buy a cup of tea, then you have to pay some money. Let's say a cup of tea is 100 bob. So 100 is the sacrifice for you to obtain the benefit of enjoying a cup of tea. If you want to travel from one place to another, you have to pay a sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your money so that you can be taken to that destination. So those are key aspects you need to consider. Customer satisfaction, also very key. This is a result of product performance in relation to benefits, in relation to what customer paid for it. So mostly products become of great value when they perform better than the customer's expectation, or they match customers' expectations. So those are key things that you need to remember. Market, we defined it as not as a place. Market is not a place. If you want to say it's a place, it's wrong. Markets are those people who actually purchase your goods and those people who are likely to purchase your product. So those are that is what is considered a market from the perspective of marketing and business. Your customers are not places. Your customers are people who buy your goods. Are we together? Are we together? Or you are left? Oh, very good, very good. So those are key things that we are remembering. I just want you to update yourself, and the essential foundation. You may not be asked to define those key terms, but what is important is that you need to remember them because they give you a foundation in understanding the concept related to marketing. When, for example, you might be working in an organization and talking about quality, for example. How will you make sure your customers buy the product the company produces? I know your supply chain, you are concerned about internal material management, that is procuring items into the organization. But it's very important for you to know that the material you procure will go a long way into making that product which the marketing department will want to sell to customer. If you procure lousy materials, poor quality materials, you make lousy products. and then these products fail to find customers, and you're not able to sell. When you're not able to sell, you cannot get back your investment. When you cannot get back your investment, you may not be able to produce more, and there will be nothing to procure. So therefore, it is important that your role is important. As you perform your role of procurement in organization, make sure this is in your mind, that you need to play your role in a way that it will enhance the overall business objective. The overall business objective, that is to grow the company's profitability, to grow the company's market share, to increase customer satisfaction, and all that aspects that are very essential. Are we together? Good. Now let's look at this thing called evolution. Just an overview of some of the key areas that we had talked about previously. So there are areas that we had highlighted. I gave you some key steps, and the steps are highlighted here. And these are just the period or the eras that try to tell us how marketing evolved and how marketing became what it is today. These are very simple. The key thing you need to note about this period are just when the period lasted, what were the characteristics or behavior of marketing, and what was the new development at such a particular period. So those are the key things you need to remember. And particularly the key aspects that came about in certain periods, like marketing department era, which you find that today's companies are so much focused on, like branding, product branding, for example. You find companies brand their products. They give it a name that communicate a certain brand attribute to customers. Also, during the marketing department era, product positioning became a very important aspect. Positioning is normally in the mind of customers. It's not a place. It is in the mind of customer. How do customers view your product? Like, for example, those of us who use Safaricom line, there is a position that it has in our mind that their product are, for example, their products are quality, or let's say, for example, data. We believe that the internet connectivity for Safaricom is very fast compared to other brands. So that is our position. And initially, the reason why it has become a favorite brand for many people in Kenya is how it portrayed itself when they launched themselves as a firm. It was viewed against the competitors as much more efficient, much more customer friendly, much more better option than other brands. And in fact, there's a time that they had the tagline known as better option. So that is actually a brand positioning phrase. So you find that companies now have come up with phrases that they use to advertise their products. So you find that each and every product has got a phrase that they use to advertise their product. For example, we have new, improved, scented, flavored, fortified, cholesterol-free, diet Coke, those kind of things. They are meant to position the product. So this is something that came about during the marketing department era. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, very good, very good. So you find that companies try by all means to position their products. Like you find that those taglines try to elicit a certain communication as far as those products are concerned. Let me get one of the products that they normally try to advertise. So let me share with you one of the adverts that we can be able to look at here, so that at least you can have a look at what we mean by product positioning.
शॉपिंग अच्छी हुई ना? अरे बच्चे का
No, sorry, that one is in a different language, but let me get you one in English, okay?
Every day our hands pick and transfer germs from different surfaces to us. Even hands that look clean can have lots of unseen germs. Kids, go wash your hands now. And because soups are usually shared by more than one person, they can become dirty, leading to multiple germ transfer. That's why I prefer to use Dettol liquid hand wash. Every drop is pure because it's untouched by other hands. Dettol liquid hand wash gives 10 times more protection against germs that cause diarrhea and other infectious diseases, leaving hands hygienically clean. For a healthy family, use Dettol antibacterial hand wash. Dettol, endorsed by the Kenyan Medical Association. Be 100% sure. In John's life,
hello. Are we together? Are we together? Are you still there?
Yes.
Very good. So you saw that Dettol advert.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Let me just that Dettol advert. These are statements they have mentioned at the end of it. That's
endorsed by the Kenyan Medical Association. Be 100% sure.
So you see that tagline, Dettol, be 100% sure. That is a positioning tagline or phrase that they are using to position the product in the mind of consumers. This is typically designed for a Kenyan market. This product is marketed by a company known as Reckitt and Ben Kaiser. So when they design their advert, for example, they make sure that that tagline is well communicated, so that as a way it encourages the consumers to continue to want buying that particular product. So they believe that if you want effective cleaning or clearing of germs, then you go for Dettol. That gives you 100% surety. Are we together? So this is the product tagline. Many other companies that advertise their products also do have product taglines, and that enable them to be able to communicate and position their products to customers. So this positioning strategy is what businesses today use to outcompete their competitors. Are we together? Yes, are we together? Good. So let's return to what we were doing previously. Let's return to the notes so that we can give you a briefing, and then we complete that. We do some revision, okay? So that's what I was talking about. Then we have social responsibility and those kind of errors and what have you. Those are some of the things that we had looked at. Another area we looked at was the marketing process. And this marketing process is essentially a scope of principles of marketing. That is the areas that needs to be covered in marketing. So it is a process where one analyzes opportunities. You remember we talked about identifying of customers' needs, and you look at opportunities from you look at marketing opportunity in terms of the needs, customers' needs. Where are those needs? What needs customers have, and how can you meet them? Are they short-term or are they long-term needs? That's where you get those opportunities. And how do you find out about them? You do a market research. You can conduct a market research so to find out what customers want. You can conduct customer research. You can do competitors research. You can look at environmental changes. For example, right now, mask sells a lot. This is a result of environmental change, for example. So you need to come up with those opportunities by looking at customers' needs, determining whether they are short-term or long-term, and finding them out through market research, information gathering, competitors analysis, and analyzing changes in the business environment. The second step is developing marketing strategies or coming up with a target market. To identify a target market is getting to know where your customers are. In other words, you're looking for where are you going to sell. Yes, you have opportunities out there, but who are going to be your customers, and how are you going to deliver that product to them successfully or better than what your competitors are doing? And this now will help you to segment your market. You can divide your market into smaller areas which are much more viable or easy to service or easy to serve. So it's kind of a thing. Another thing that you need to remember is a third step whereby you plan your marketing program, and this involves developing your marketing mix programs. For example, how do we design the product? How do we make the product? The product we told you are goods, they are services, they are places, they are ideas, they are individuals and such like. How do you make them so that they can fit into your specific needs? Then you use the pricing strategies. How do you price that product? Very important. How do you distribute it? Very important. This is now supply chain issues. After making the product, where do you find, how do you take it to your customer so that they can get it successfully? Then promotion. This relates to market communication. How do you communicate about the product's merits or benefits and persuade your customers to buy them? So those are the things that you come up with. So all these three, we have already covered them as topics, and I believe you are well acquainted. And in case there is something that you are still wondering, we always here you can ask. Now, the key thing about marketing is now coordinating all these programs so that you can deliver customer value. You can deliver valuable product to your customers that will be satisfactory to them and help drive that business objective. And of course, lastly, you manage the marketing programs. You manage those marketing programs through implementation, through, for example, you look at your situation, the ability of the company by conducting what is called a SWOT analysis, whereby you look at the company's strength, company's weaknesses. Strength are those areas that they are doing very well. Weakness is that areas that they require improvement. You look at opportunities, the opportunities are found out there. Where can you expand in? Which market can you target? What product can you produce? Threats are normally comes as a result of environmental issues like government policies, restrictive policies, for example, like taxation, for example, like environmental problems like we now have called COVID. Those are threats to businesses. There are businesses that have closed now, like in airline industry, in hotel industry, in many industries, they are suffering because of environmental problem called COVID-19. And there are threats from competition, for example. If you have strong competitors, then they can easily take you out of business. So all those things are issues that need to be taken into consideration when implementing or when putting into practice your marketing programs. Of course, after you have known your position, you can now decide whether to enter into a product line, or you enter into a brand, or you enter into which market. Then, of course, you put those programs into practice, and then afterwards, you can measure performance. You can evaluate. You can measure performance. You can evaluate results, and you can put in place corrective actions. Are we together? Now, this controlling part of it will. When you get to module 3, there is a unit called Principles of Management. You will do a topic called Controlling, and that controlling has issues that pertain to how to evaluate results, measure results, evaluate results, and plan and implement corrective actions. So those are key issues that you need to remember. The last thing we looked at in topic 1, I think, is this one, marketing philosophies. The philosophies are areas that they tend to relate to evolution of marketing, but they are concepts that were developed as organizations were trying to look at how best they could serve their customers. Initially, they thought that customers were favoring products that were available and products that were cheap. Products that were available and cheap. So they would try to minimize cost as much as possible and to make sure the products are readily available. So there are decisions that businesses need to do as regards those key areas. And I think we actually identified them very well. We identified the roles played by the marketer in order to enhance availability and affordability. We also looked at some of the challenges of those concepts in terms of where were the positions where they are not, the concept is not actually working well, or is not actually rhyming with the business environment today. We also looked at some of the advantages, and we also looked at how marketers can implement or can apply those concepts today. So those are kind of things that you need to look at. Now that you can replicate for all the concepts, like the product philosophy or the product concept, which is this one is focusing on goods of high quality performance, products that are innovative, products that are classic with so many features, and the view that customers despise products that are of low quality. That is the production concept. What we can look at about this concept also is how can marketers apply it? What are some of the advantages? What are some of the disadvantages of that concept, for example? We also looked at the selling concept. What was it saying? That in many cases, the view is that customers will not buy goods unless there is a large-scale selling and promotional effort. Now they talk about giving customers incentives to buy, ensuring constant promotion, constant publicity of the product, reaching out through advertising, all those kind of things, trying to give customers incentives to buy, like customers who get forced or coerced to buy products. So you find that all those issues were. Then, of course, we have marketing concept. Now, this is the contemporary concept whereby it holds that organizations to achieve its goal depends on determining the needs and wants of customer and then delivering the desired value more than what competitors can do. So this is essentially the marketing concept that actually hold. So you find that companies today focus on giving customers their desires and ensuring that they do it better than the competition. So you find that companies today regard customers as king. There are companies that regard customers as king, as the king, or customers are your boss, that you are our employer, that the customers are the one that drives the business. So the customer focus has become an essential part of marketing. And from there, you find that organizations are trying to ensure that all the effort are towards satisfying the customer so that the customer always remain with the business. So remember that key concept. Another thing that you need to remember is another concept that has come about called societal concept. That is not just enough to provide what customer wants, but you also need to be concerned with the welfare of the society. Why is society's welfare important? Because companies are not existing in a vacuum. They exist in the environment, and the product they produce affect the environment in one way or another. Their activities affect a company in one way or another. For example, the companies derive resources from the environment. For example, water. If a company comes to an area and then draws all the water to themselves, what about the community that operates there? If a company comes to a particular area and release all pollution or pollutes that environment, what about the people that live in that area? So that's why companies are now much more concerned of the community, the society where they get their resources. And of course, due to scarcity of resources, due to environmental pollution, due to the needs and challenges in society, companies are now part and parcel of the society. Therefore, they need to take part in ensuring the welfare of society is taken into consideration. So that you find that the beer makers, for example, will tell you about drinking, that beer drinking is not permitted to those who are below 18, and that if you excessively drink, you are not supposed to drive. You are not supposed to excessively drink. You are not supposed to drink and drive. Cigarette companies will put a mark on their cigarettes that smoking of cigarettes is harmful to your health. Such kind of things. So, so that they sensitize society about the dangers that those products give. Many other companies with different products have got different ways of ensuring societal needs are met or taken into consideration. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Last thing we looked at was objectives. I want you to look at those objectives and how to formulate them. The marketing objectives. I believe you are able to see them. I want you to create, at least everyone to create one objective and write them in a public portal. Make sure that your objective measure as this criteria, the SMART criteria, that the objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And at least one objective related to any marketing aspect. Kila mtu one objective each. Not these ones that are placed here. You can look for a different objective. Are we together? One objective, write them on the public portal.
A question.
Yeah. Yes.
Tuandike kwa public chat you mean ama?
Yeah, andika kwa public chat.
Oh.
Where is for Dorchester? Where is your objective? Where is your objective? In Dorchester, where is your objective? Are you there? Dorchester? Where is your objective? Write it down there. We can make a comment on it. Now, Anne's objective, does it measure up to the SMART criteria? Is it specific? Is it measurable? I can't see any measurable parameters there. And then, is this achievable? Does it have a time frame? It doesn't have a time frame. Kimani's objective. First of all, you start objective with the word to, Kimani's objective. Is it achievable? It is not specific. It doesn't give specific parameters. Yes, it's countrywide. When? How many? How do you enlarge the business? How many new branches? So I want you to look at these objectives highlighted here. These three. Let me highlight them so you can see them clearly. The first one, to increase, your objectives need to increase companies' sales by 25%. That is measurability by 2016. So this one we can change it to 2021. To increase company sales by 25% by 2021. the key thing, what is smart about this is that it is a specific objective, that it means you want to increase company's sales. So what you are looking at is sales. Sales is the key item you are looking at here. Then by what? Measurability. This is a figure that can be measured. You can say 20, 25, 30%. That is measurability. A time frame is given here, 2021. So, and then of course, how realistic or achievable will depend on your previous records, for example. In the last year or the last period, how much sales did you make, or how much did you grow your sales, for example? How realistic it is also depends on your previous performances or whatever capacity yet you are put in place to achieve that objective. Are we together? Are we together? So when you are doing your objectives, you need to be able to ensure that it is a specific objective. Like the sales here it's not about production. You talk about production, you talk about cost reduction. It must be specific. You talk about quality level. You must be specific. Measurability is the constant figure. You talk about you want to grow your market share by 10%. The percentage, the figure, the value makes it measurable. Then time bound, you give it a time frame. How long do you want to take to achieve that objective? So those are very important. Look at this second one. To achieve a market share of 30%. So the first and foremost thing, very specific, is market share. Market share is specific. Measurability of 30% for product C also talks about specific product. You are not talking about product A or product B or product D. You are talking about product C. And then a time frame, 3 years after the product has been launched. So you can see how smart that objective is. So you come up with your, like, let's say, for example, Telcom want to set an objective for 2021. They can see that right now, maybe they are 9% in the market share, for example. And they want to set an objective for 2021. They can see they want to grow their market share from 10% to 15% within the next 1 year. To grow their market share from 10% to 15% within the next 1 year. So that you can see it's the key specific thing about it is the market share grown by 5% for the next period of 1 year. So those are the key aspects that you need to remember. Are we together? So that's how you formulate objectives. So let's see what Dosha did. To ensure goal one set are aligned, and no, this is not an objective. This is not an objective. So all the objectives you have given me are not objectives at all, or they don't have the SMART criteria. They are not specific. They are not measurable. Are they achievable or realistic? We cannot know. Are they time-bound? There is not a time frame. And you don't say to an objective is to ensure goals one set are aligned. Because goals are objective, objectives are goals. So you can do a specific goal. Talk about you want to increase or to ensure the customer's satisfaction. Talking about customer satisfaction like objective 3 here. increase percentages of customers who rate your product as excellent from 80 to 85% within a period of 18 months. You see that objective? Talking about customer satisfaction. Are we together? Great. I think we can stop there for that overview of topic 1. But one question I want to give you. The question is this. Maybe you can write it, or I think I'll do something about it. You can say that outline or explain 5 roles that a firm. Explain 5 roles that a firm, that is a company, will play in economic development of a country. Explain 5 roles that a company will play in economic development of a country. Explain 5 roles that a firm will play in economic development of a country. I think I'll put it to you as a quiz. How was the cat? How was the cat? Explain 5 roles that a firm will play in economic development of the country. To explain 5 roles that a firm will play in economic development of a country. So you can, I'll set a place for you to answer it. A place to answer it. So I've set a place where you can answer it. How was the cat? How was the cat? How was the cat? Anna, how was the cat? Was it good? Or was it a challenge? Hmm? How was the cat? Let me check what everyone did. And I think we should look at it before we look at another paper. Let me check. Where was it? Topic 11, Yes, cat 1. Yes. Cat 1 here. I think it is here. 5 attempts. Where is the answers? Where is the answers? Let me preview the quiz. Good. Are we together? Let me share the page for where the cat is so that we can do a revision on it, all right? Quick revision. Quick revision. It was fair. Someone said. Results are here already. If you want result, I can send to you. Who is asking for a makeup? Who is this asking for a makeup? Who did to my cat? I'll send to everyone their result. But I think you can check it. You can check the portal. You can view the grades. You can view the grades. But the question number 5, asking, exclusive distribution requires an agreement with a particular middleman who is given the sole right by the manufacturer to market the product in a given market. Now, this is asking whether it is true or false. What do you think? This one is true. So this is true, Yes. That is what is called exclusive distribution. So you answer a question like that. Now, are we together? Anyone who has doubt on that? That was a true answer. That statement was true, okay? The next is, which one of the following is not a pull promotional strategy? Which one of the following is not a pull promotional strategy? Who has idea here? A pull promotional strategy. You remember we said that there are 2 strategies used for promotion. There is the pull and the push. The pull uses certain techniques to pull the product into the supply chain, into the channels of distribution, so that customers may get to that particular product. And we said a pull strategy would call on spending on advertisement and consumer promotions. Spending on advertising and consumer promotion. That is, advertising communicate to consumers. That's why advertising is normally broadcast on mass media, because you are communicating to consumers. And also you use consumer promotions. That is use of sales promotion techniques like giving of free samples, giving of use of direct mail like SMSs, like emails, like social media mails, giving discounts, especially at point of sale discounts, point of sale display. Those are consumer promotion. So here we're asking which one is not a pull promotional strategy. Direct mails are like SMSs. Are we together? They are like social media mails that reaches somebody directly. So it's a sales promotional strategy. It is one that gives customer an incentive to buy. Promotional allowances, these are normally given to companies that market goods. Like this one is not a pull strategy because it is targeting the resellers, it's targeting companies, it's not targeting customers. Use of advertising. Yes, we say that is a pull strategy. Use of free samples. This is where you are targeting customers at the selling point to give them, you find two products attached together, or they buy one and get another free, or they are given something to sample. So the one which is not a pull strategy is this promotional allowance. Are we together? Because it's given to organizations. So you need to remember that. Our next question is, this one was an essay question. Discuss the importance of any one of the methods of soliciting customers' complaints or compliments. Now, this is something I gave you to do individually before. I can even go back and show you. And I believe many of you did not do this work, and I gave it to you. What you expected of you was to say, state here, for example, if you wanted to talk about suggestion box, you would say suggestion box. So identifying this was a mark on its own. You needed to identify suggestion box and tell us about suggestion box, what it is. Tell us at least one advantage or one disadvantage. To tell us suggestion box is a box where people can put their comments regarding the company, for example. It's used by companies to collect view from customers, mostly because of the fact that there is that secrecy element of it. No one will be known who put that information or not. The disadvantages, for example, is that many times those responses normally don't get to the person who had requested them. So you identify the element, you identify one, and you say what it is, and then you state a disadvantage and an advantage, and that is it. You get your all 4 marks. Suggestion box, used to gather information from customers. Advantage is secretive. Disadvantage, information may not be, the feedback may not be given back to the person who sent that request. Such kind of a thing. So once you have identified like that, you go to the next question, like this one. Brand marketing manager for XYZ was hard pressed to identify an effective promotional program for company's product. Explain what could have been the driver to his choice. This is just asking you factors affecting choice of promotional program. Factors affecting the choice of promotional program. One is the cost of that method. The cost of the method. Another one is availability of funds. For example, how much fund does that company have? Another thing is Another thing is the nature of the market. Which type of market do you want to reach out to? Which type of market do you want to reach out to? Then another thing could be geographical scope of customers. How widespread? How widespread are customers? How widespread are customers? Another thing is the stage a product is in the life cycle. The stage a product is in the life cycle, because it will depend on which method to use for promotion. So that's what you needed to have done. You go to the next question, whereby which one of the following is true about intensive distribution? Which of the following is true about intensive distribution? So every middleman who wishes to distribute the product is allowed to do so. A particular middleman is given the right to carry the product. Only a few outlets that wish to carry the product are given, is allowed to do so. Yes, tell us this one. Which one is this? Let me hear from you. Anna, which one is this? Which one is this?
Sorry, I can't hear you. You're breaking.
I'm asking, you are seeing the question? Yeah?
No, they are very tiny. They are tiny.
Oh, you can't see them.
Yes.
You can't see anything. All right.
No, I can't. So I'm just listening to your voice.
Okay. But you've heard what we are talking about.
No, you are breaking. I didn't hear well.
Okay. Okay. Are they still invisible? You can see now? Can you see?
No, I
Okay.
can't see.
Okay, regarding that, it says it's true about intensive distribution is whereby every middleman who wants to carry the product are allowed to sell it. So that is the answer. Now, every middleman who wants to carry the product is allowed to do so, to carry the product. And then asking, complement called suggestion boxes and toll-free lines are commonly used for what?
Sorry?
They are commonly used for gathering data about research. Yes, Anna. You're speaking. I said complaints / complement records, suggestion boxes, and toll-free lines are commonly used for gathering data about research problem, soliciting customers' feedback, making inquiry about availability of a product, or reporting criminal activity to police. They can be used for soliciting customers' feedback, okay? Then which one of the following is not a characteristic of advertising? Which one of the following is not a characteristic of advertising? 1, it has an identified sponsor. It is mass transmitted through media. is non-personal communication, then it triggers immediate feedback. So the answer is it triggers immediate feedback. This one is not a characteristic because mostly it's a message that is directed to people without generally and does not require direct feedback. In case there is direct, but that is not the intention. So advertising is, you may get feedback or you may not even get feedback about it. Next question is the size, position, dispersion, and behavior of consumer relates to which factor influencing distribution? Size, composition, dispersion, and behavior of consumers relate to which factors influencing distribution? 1, nature of goods, competition, middleman characteristics, and nature of market. What do you think? This one is nature of market, okay? Modern trends places customers at the center of marketing program. What could be the justification for this move? Because customers are the ones that buy the product. Therefore, you need to satisfy them. They need to be satisfied. You need to provide products that meet their specific needs and respond to their aspirations. Hello, are we together? I want us to end this. I will post to you a past paper I wanted us to share on the portal as well as other issues that might be necessary, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so as for now, I will be able on any matter related to this, you can always communicate with me so that we may be on the same page. Now, is there any question or any issue?
So I have a question. Oh, I don't know if it's an issue or a question, but I've checked the grading and I've seen there are cards that have not been graded and I've done them.
You check the cut we did?
No, not the cut we did, like kuna zenye nilikuwa tumefanya na nimeenda kuangalia nikapata they are not yet graded.
Okay, they are going to be graded in the next few moments, okay?
Okay, thank you.
So if they are not graded, it means you umezifanya or you did them when after I had graded a few of them, but I'm going to grade them, okay? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, welcome. Any other question? Anna, you don't have any question?
No.
All right. So I'll put a past paper on that portal on that chapter 1, and any other thing that might be necessary for us to enhance our revision. And I wanted us to look at some questions, but because I know it might be a little bit more taxing after having gone through that chapter 1, but I'll put questions there. And in case you find questions that I have posted, whether they are quizzes or assignments, try to do them because they help build up your revision as we wait for COVID to end and exams to start. And just as I told you last week, that we might perhaps be asked to do an online paper like the cut I gave you. So you always just need to be posted in case of if a decision comes from the exams office that will give you an exam that is done like that, then it will be necessary. Now, I think multiple choices are stress to many. Eh? Is it true, Dorchester? What do you think?
Pardon?
I'm asking, how do you find multiple choice questions? Are they welcome or they are a challenge?
They're very good. They're not challenging.
Okay. Yeah. So what is
Yes.
with multiple choice? The key thing is one needs to be a little bit more specific and particular by remembering details. But I just wanted to ask, do you have access to? Okay, I gave you the course outline. It gives a brief outline of what you're supposed to do. But I don't know whether you had accessed the library before the closure of COVID. They are normally the curriculum, the NEC curriculum. They have very important details about the topics. So should anything happen that the school reopens, what you can be able to get to the library and find out about the curriculum, because there are some details which are very key, and they normally set those details, especially the objectives. You look at the objectives, this is where many questions come from. Like some of the past papers I have here, some of the questions are direct from the objectives. So I'll be able to put some of them so that you can be able to see. Any other issue? Any other issue? So, so Anna, did you see your result? Your CAT result?
No,
You haven't
I
seen
haven't
it?
checked.
Yeah, I think you can check
Yes.
from the grades, okay? When you check the grades, you are able to see, eh? But in case you are not able to see, I'll send to you. I'll send, I think I'll post it on your email page, eh? But I suppose you are able to see. I think Dorchester you have seen, eh? Dorchester, you have seen
No, I haven't seen.
you haven't seen. So what you
Yes.
can do, get to the grades. I believe on your part, there are grade sections, eh? And the grade section will show you all the activities you have done and a specific activity, eh? Like on my side, let me just...
You've just posted.
Huh? Sorry? You wanted to say something? I'm telling you, are you seeing that pointer? Are you seeing my page?
Yes.
There's a place you can
Yes.
see grades written there. Eh? You see that? Though it may be tiny, but I believe you can faintly see where the cursor is. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah, that is where the grades are. when you click there, when you click over there, it will open for you where the grades are. I'm going to open it, but it won't. It will just indicate a few things, maybe the quizzes that you have done. Like, let's see, it will open for you. I'm not going to show you where the cut is. This is just attendance. The journals have given you, none of you have ever written anything on them. And, or unless I'm gonna check.
We have.
You have written, so I'll grade them, okay? Then
Yes.
quiz 1 was out of 5. I can see only the 2 of you did it. So you can see, you'll find the grades. When you click on that grades, you'll find all the grades, including attendance, journals, what have you, and even the cut. The cut is also there. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to see it. Let me check. I think that's how it is visible. Let me show you by drawing this. So you can see those. You see those. I don't want to show you because I don't want someone to see another person's grade, okay? So you can see those areas, all those activities. Attendance, quizzes, topic 10, attendance, quiz, cut 1. You see that cut? You see down below somewhere here. You see where the cursor is? That's where your cut 1 quiz activity is. So down below it, there are grades for that cut, okay? Did you see it? Yes, somewhere there you'll find it. I'm not showing you because I don't want you to see what another person got, okay? Right. Are we together?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Now, I think if there is no other question, I'll just go ahead and grade those other ones and maybe place more activities to you there. So all this, even attendance is graded, okay? So
You will send my gradings the email. Me, I can't find mine.
you can't see them.
Yeah, because I'm only seeing topic 11 attendance and quiz 11 out of 10 and cut attendance.
You can't see the others. Why?
Yes, I can see the others, but I can't see for the other for the cut we did.
But you can scroll. You just scroll it so that it goes to the other end.
I have reached the end.
You reached the end. You are using a phone, a laptop.
My phone.
Your phone.
Yes.
You have access to a laptop?
It's a bit far.
Or not now, but some other time.
Okay.
Maybe some other time you can check. But in case, I'll still send you on email, on the emailing portal, okay? Do you normally get messages that I send notifying of the blue button? Huh? Well, I'll try to send it. Okay? Good. So I think we can close down unless there is any other issue. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that is your class attendance. I think I've marked it appropriately. Let's meet the next time. So I leave you to interact with the portal, right? So I can now close on this discussion, right? Are we okay?
Yes.
Are we? Oh, very good. So have a wonderful week, okay?